You know, there's something interesting that happens when someone starts to realise they no longer need to expect being attacked. Because even if something does happen, they find themselves responding not with tension, with that calm, grounded power that only comes from knowing you can handle it. And often the most powerful shift isn't in fighting, it's in realising there's nothing to fear. Like a cat lying on a warm windowsill. She's not on edge, she's not worried, and yet her power is undiminished. Her stillness is not weakness, it's the ultimate control of frame. And you might begin to wonder what it would feel like to let your natural calm confidence become the default. Because when you begin to play again, to laugh again, to stop scanning for threats, and start tuning into the thrill of the moment, your whole system upgrades, not by force, but by flow. And now, maybe you're already remembering a time, a moment, when things just worked, when everything just clicked, because you were present, because you were playful, because you weren't trying. That's exactly why it flowed. And maybe now you start to notice. The more you let go, the more you receive. The more you relax, the more you access. The more playful you become, the more powerful you feel. You start to live the truth. Beliefs shape reality. And you, my friend, are the artist with the brush in your hand. You're the coder rewriting your own operating system. You're the magician who realizes reality bends to your emotional state. And it's interesting how someone who used to believe they had to be on edge starts to laugh at the idea of dreading anything at all. Because they started to feel just how absurd it is to carry fear in a moment that hasn't even happened yet. You just stop doing that because you don't need permission to change. You don't need permission to feel safe. You are the safety, and from that safety you radiate energy and people feel it. They feel that certainty, that calm power, that unshakable presence, and they mirror it back because energy, as you know, is magnetic, and yours is already shifting. And every time someone used to panic, they now pause, they breathe, they choose, because emotions must be processed, not suppressed. Because failure, it isn't final, it's feedback. Because this too shall pass. It isn't just a saying, it's a law. And I don't know exactly when you'll begin to act without hesitation. Maybe it happens now, or maybe it just unfolds naturally later today, as if it's the most obvious thing in the world. But what I do know is your new belief system, this operating system of optimism, has already begun to run in the background. And every time you smile at a challenge, you strengthen the neural wiring of joy, mastery, and growth. Remember this, your state creates your story, and stories shape lives. And it's funny, once you really accept that you are enough, that you are loved, that forgiveness frees, that detachment is power, you find yourself carrying less and receiving more. And the more you understand that life is a game meant to be played with enthusiasm, passion, curiosity, and play, the more you start to win it, without needing to win it all, because now the game is fun again. Now the world mirrors your inner joy. Now momentum becomes effortless. You no longer chase, you attract. Because happiness is here, not there, and people feel it. They feel your presence, they lean in. They want to understand why you glow like that. And of course the answer is simple. It's not about what you know. It's about who you've become. You've become the calm in the chaos, the storm with a smile. The magnetic, mysterious, playful, powerful presence that walks into the room and shifts the energy, without even trying, because you've stopped needing and started being. So maybe right now, your unconscious mind is sorting, filing, connecting, installing and integrating this new belief code as your default setting. And each moment you return to this state, you rewire, reinstall, and reinforce the truth. There's no need to expect being attacked. And even if you are, you're more than capable of handling it with calm power and presence. So breathe that in and let it become real, because it already is and always was. You just need to remember what your soul already knew.